Hello everybody. Today I'm going to take you through a playthrough of Star Drifter. So first things first, we've already created our character and we've already created our ship. So after all that is complete, we now can begin the game. We begin the game by going to the first event, E001 in the event book. So let's do that. E001. You are a talented pilot with a nebulous past. Your time spent away from your homeworld has been mostly taken up with performing dishonorable jobs for untrustworthy characters. Your most recent run-in with the authorities has caused you to question your life's current trajectory and has you feeling that maybe it is time for a course correction. Equipped with your ray gun, multi-purpose utility pad, and modest starship, you are ready to travel the cosmos in your quest for glory. The galaxy is vast, densely populated, full of odd planets, dangerous creatures, and intergalactic anomalies. There are humans and aliens that live throughout, in peace and also at war. You simply want to make your mark among the stars. So then it says here to go to the rules section. This just walks you, that portion here will walk you through the actual character creation and ship creation. But we're already done that, so we move on. You holster your ray gun and make final preparations to your ship for intergalactic travel. Roll a d10 to determine which hex you start at on the map board. Here's our map board. So we roll a 6. A 6 on here says hex number 2416. All right, so 2416. 24 and then 16 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Right there. We have this washer to indicate which hex we're in. And the numbers are down here as well on the side to make it easier to find which hex you're on. All right, so we start out here in deep space. Now there's a colonized planet hex up here. Let's go to the action section and choose an action to perform. So actions. Actions allowed in any hex. We can fly to a new hex, R101B, so we move to a different hex. We can heal, but that takes a destiny point. We currently have 2 destiny points. We just started the game, and you always start with 2. Upgrade weapon, repair hull. Our hull is at full. Upgrade thrusters, that costs 2 destiny points to attempt. And then upgrade cannons. Well, let's just do a fly action and move our ship to a different hex. So R101B. So here are the rules for R101B. The fly action is based on your ship's current thrusters on the ship sheet. So if we come down to the ship sheet, our thrusters are currently 1. There's 1, D4, and D4+, which just means that you have warp capability to go to any hex on the map. So back to our rule, thrusters, we have 1. So here are the steps. If your ship's fuel tracker is currently at 0, go to E099. It's not. We have 16 we have 16 fuel cells. So 1, lower your ship's fuel tracker down 1. So on our ship sheet here are fuel cells. We currently have 16, but we're told to lower that 1. So we now have 15 fuel cells. Then it says to number 2, move your ship to any adjacent hex. So we have our ship indicator here. We'll move to that adjacent hex. Get there. And then 3, roll a D100 for an event. Table A under your current notoriety star. So we come on down to the table sheet. Table A, event table. So here we have to roll a D100, and we refer to this column to determine our random event. So a 45. So we simply come on down here. 45 is event E195. Let's turn to that in the event book. All right, E195. Long-range scan. Your ship's long-range scan indicates a ship in your current trajectory. You can approach the ship or you can circumvent it. All right, so if we continue on our current trajectory towards the mystery ship, we gain 1 fuel cell, fuel regeneration, and then we go to E009. If we wish to avoid it and change course, fuel generation, our ship will lose D4 fuel cells, then we choose one of the following. So we can move to an adjacent hex and then roll for another random event. We can stay in the current hex, and then we lose a sector of interest. We don't have any sectors of interest, so that's not a problem. Or we can just stay in the current hex, and then we lose D6 fuel cells. So we're really trying to move out of the way of this ship, and it takes quite a bit of time. And, well, what we're going to do, I think what we should do is I think we should go ahead and move to any adjacent hex. So we wish to avoid it and change course. So I'll lose the D4 fuel cells, and then I will move to any adjacent hex and roll for another event. So we lose 1 fuel cell. So back to our ship sheet. We currently have 15 fuel cells, but we lose 1. So now we're down to 14. So back on the map board here, we can move to an adjacent hex, and then we just simply roll for another event. So we're rolling for a random event. So our current notoriety star is a 3-point star, and we roll a D100. So let's do that. All right. So we have a 19. So 19 is E053 in the event book. Let's go there. E053, Supernova. Your ship's warning lights beep and flash. A huge supernova has entered the sector and is rapidly approaching. Attempt a mobility skill test. Table C, so we're doing our first skill test here. It's a mobility one. So table C, under the question mark, prowess -2. So on our table sheet, we go to the skill table, table C, question mark column, prowess -2. So the question mark is determined by your ship's current hull health, your ship status. So currently our hull damage level is none. So therefore, our mobility star is the 3-point star. So that means we roll under the 3-point column. If we had, for example, a medium damage to our ship currently, we'd have to roll under the 4-point column. Heavy damage, 6-point, and then debilitating, the hardest column. So we are here, and we determine it's a 3-point star. So we roll here, prowess -2. Now our character's current prowess is determined by our health level. Our health is no damage level, and so therefore our prowess is currently 4. So let's roll on here. Prowess +2 to this roll. 4, 5, 6. A 6 is a pass. All right, so we performed the mobility skill test, and we passed. So pass, you evade the huge supernova. Roll a d6. 2. So we come back to the table. 2, your evasion of the supernova forces you to an adjacent hex. Roll a d6 to determine which adjacent hex you end on. And then fuel generation, your ship loses 1 fuel cell. All right, so let's determine which adjacent hex we move to. D6. Roll the 5. So a 5 is southwest, and then we lose 1 fuel cell. Okay, so we have to go southwest, avoiding a big supernova. Blast those thrusters, so we lose a fuel cell. So we come back to our ship sheet. We now have 13 fuel cells. Okay, and now we simply go ahead and choose another action. We've completed the events that we've been instructed to visit. We've completed all the instructions. There's nothing further to do, but now we get to choose another action. So I think I'm going to go ahead and choose the move action again. So we'll move to the northwest hex, and then what we do is the same instructions as the last time we did the move action. We have to burn a fuel cell. So now we have 12 fuel cells. And then we roll for a random event on the table sheet. 72. E175. All right, E175. Distress signal. You pick up a distress signal coming from an adjacent hex. Roll a d6 to determine the adjacent hex of the distress signal. Okay, roll a d6 to find out which adjacent hex is the distress signal. It is just 4, which is south. You can provide assistance or you can ignore it. If you provide assistance, move to the determined hex of the signal, E004. If you ignore the distress signal, roll a d6. So a number of possible things can happen if we just roll the d6 if we ignore the distress signal. But we're pretty fresh right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and check out the distress signal. So if you provide assistance, move to the determined hex of the signal. So we got to move south and then go to E004. So we'll move south, down 1 hex, and go to E004. E004, distress signal. Your ship's scanners have picked up a distress signal. Roll a d10. 3. The signal is garbled. Attempt a mind skill test. Table C, 6-point star, mind -2. Okay, so table C, under the 6-point star, so it's a hard test, at mind -2, correct? Yes, mind -2. So, and our mind skill score is currently at 2. So -2 would be 0. So simply whatever we roll is what we get. And we get a 7. A 7 is a pass. Okay, so pass. You are able to refine the signal. Roll a d4. 3. 3 is E011. Let's go there. E011, distress call. You zero in on the coordinates of a distress signal. Roll a d10. 8. So we come here, 6, 7, 8. The signal is coming from a remote planet and is relatively close. Roll a d6 for adjacent hex of planet. Okay. So let's roll a d6 to find out which adjacent hex is the signal. It's a 5, and a 5 is southwest. And now we record the hex number, distress call E024 under sectors of interest. Well, let's do that then. So to our character sheet. So we have to determine what hex that is, southwest. So southwest of us here is that. So that is 20. And then over here, 2015. So we come to our character sheet. And then we go to sectors of interest. Oh, no, sorry. Ship sheet has the sectors of interest. And then we put down the hex number, which is 2015. And the name is distress. And then we have the event number, which is E024. So if we get to that hex, which we're going to go to now, but we get to that hex, if we manage to stay in that hex, we can then perform a sectors of interest action and complete this and check out that distress call. So we know there's a distress call. We've been traveling for a while now. We dealt with there was a ship that we evaded for a while, had to maneuver all their scanners. Took a bit of time to the point where we had to move to an adjacent hex. And a supernova ended up appearing. And then now we know that there's a distress call, a distress signal coming from this hex. So we're going to go ahead and move down to that hex. So we're doing a move action. So we still have to complete the move action. So to do that, we have to move there, and then we have to lower our fuel cell by 1 and still roll for the random event. Okay, random event, table A. And 31, E003. All right, red alert, E003, asteroid field. Your ship's proximity warnings beep and blink. You have entered an asteroid field. Roll a d6. Let's grab my d6 here. Roll it up. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Attempt a mobility skill test. Table C, question mark, prowess -2. Okay, so We're performing another mobility skill test. So we know that now our hull damage level is none. So our mobility star is the 3-point star. So table C, under the 3-point star, it is prowess -2. And our prowess is currently 4 because our damage level of our character is none. So our prowess is full, max, which is 4. So let's roll this and we get a we get +2 to this because 4 prowess minus the 2 is +2. So let me get my 10-sider here. Okay. 3 + 2 is 5. 5 is a pass. Oh, and there's an asterisk there. Asterisk. +1 destiny point. So we get a destiny point as well. So we passed and we get a destiny point. So our destiny points are currently 2. So we can go ahead now and put that up to 3. And destiny points allow you to re-roll any roll in the entire game, but you have to keep the second result. And you can also use destiny points to upgrade certain aspects of your character and ship. So for example, you can try to upgrade your ray gun to a more powerful star. Or you can go to your ship sheet and you can upgrade your cannons, which are used for, well, ship combat. So you can make your cannons more powerful as well. Or you can use 2 destiny points, and you can attempt to upgrade your thrusters as well. Okay, so we passed the mobility skill test. Pass, you maneuver through the meteors. Fuel regeneration, your ship gains 1 fuel cell. And that's it, concludes. So we get a fuel cell back. So let's go ahead and mark that up. And then we have 12 fuel cells now. Make sure it's nice and clean, there we go. All right, so we are in hex number 2015 now, which we determined to be our hex that has the distress signal. So now we get to choose another action because we've completed our move action, we moved into the next hex, we lowered our fuel cells, we rolled for a random event, and we completed the event. So now we get to choose a new action. So back in the rule book, our actions. So we have an action here. Actions allowed only in certain hexes. So we can perform sector of interest action or spaceport. But you can only do spaceport actions when on a hex with a colonized planet. So on the map board, you can see here, these are colonized planets here. There's 3 of them on the board. But what we want to do is the sector of interest, because we have a sector of interest, and you can use that only when in a hex that contains a known sector of interest. Well, we have one. We have the distress call. So let's go back to our sector of interest and go to that event. So here's our sector of interest in hex number 2215 where we're at. And distress call E024. So we get to, because of sector of interest action, what we do is we now erase this and we go to E024 in the event book. So E024, there is a distress signal coming from somewhere on this planet's surface. Roll a D10. 5. So we go to 5. The distress call is coming from a large ship of unknown origin that has crashed on the rocky planet. You scan the wreckage. So we have to attempt a mind skill test. Table C, 4-point star, mind -2. So let's go make that skill test. So on our table sheet, the skill table, table C, it is the, how many was it? It was a 4-point star. So under this column, moderate difficulty, it is a mind -2. So if we go to, what's our mind currently? Our mind score is 2. So -2 is 0. So we get no bonus to this roll. Whatever we roll is what we get. So let's see if we pass or fail this test. Roll a D10. 2. Okay, 2. 2 is a fail. All right, now I can spend a destiny point right now if I want to get a re-roll, but I'll have to keep the second result. Well, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to spend the destiny point. And re-roll. All right, let's try again. 8, that's better. 8 is a 4-point star, mine -2. 2 minus 2 is 0. We just keep the 8. It is a pass. So let's see what happens. Okay, so we passed. Thanks to our destiny point. So pass, Lucra. Okay, so table D, so we get to see what we find in the ship. So 3-point star, plus we also go to event E063. So let's roll under table D, 6-point star to see what we found in the ship. So we come back to our table sheet, and now we go to table D, the Lucra table. And here we roll under a 6-point star, and we roll a D10. So let's see what happens. 4. So 4, we found 6 Lucra. Oh, and there's 2 asterisks there. That means, oh, +1 destiny point, right on. So we also gain a destiny point. So we add that 6 Lucra to our character sheet. So if we come down here, 9 plus 6 is 15. So we'll mark that down. We get 15 Lucra, 10, and 5. And we also get another destiny point. So now we have 3 destiny points. But our event is not over yet, because it says here that we need to go to event 063. So let's go there and see what happens. Okay, we found an alien relic. You have a mysterious relic. All right, roll a D10. 5. Okay, it is a puzzle. Attempt a mind skill test. Table C, 4-point star, mind -2. Okay, let's go to our table sheet. So we are performing another mind skill test. We have a mind score of 2, but it's -2 under the 4-point star column. Okay, let's get my 10-sider. Table C. 4. A 4 is a fail. Well, we have 3 destiny points still. I'd like to pass this, I think. No, let's, let's spend a destiny point. So let's spend a destiny point to re-roll that, to attempt this again. So we have 2, but we have to keep the second result. Okay. Oh, that ain't much better. 1, that is a fail. Okay, we failed it. Okay, so it is a puzzle. We attempted to solve the puzzle, and then we failed. So we fail, go to the fail result, roll a D4. Okay, we get a 1. Okay, 1. A ghastly humanoid appears through a portal and drags you to a dimension of sadism. Your adventure ends here. Okay, well, yeah, we want to spend the destiny point. Okay, so we could spend the destiny point to re-roll that. We don't want that. That will end the game. We die. Okay, so now we can roll again, but we got to keep this roll. Okay. 2. It twists your mind. -1 mind. Ooh. Attempt the mind skill test again. All right, okay. So that's pretty bad. So our mind score is now 1. And we have to attempt the mind skill all over again. So we're going to keep on coming at this puzzle. So table C, once again, 4-point star, mind -2. Table C, mind -2 under the 4-point star. Okay, so mind -2. Our mind is 1, so we get -1 to this roll now, because 1 minus 2 is -1. A 10. Well, that's good. So we got a pass. Okay, so pass. You can sell the relic or solve the puzzle. You can sell the relic on any colonized planet. Record hex number, well, any colonized planet, collector E173. So it's a new sector of interest. Or we can solve the puzzle and it reveals a secret chamber from within itself. Well, that sounds kind of fun. So let's go to that, E021. Okay, E021. You have found strange minerals. You can try to sell them on any colonized planet. Record. Okay, so it just gives us a different sector of interest. So hex number, any colonized planet, mineralogist. We'll go visit the mineralogist E136. Okay, so we recorded that here under a sector of interest. I just put COL, big thick marker. So any colonized planet, mineralogist, there's the name, and the event is 136. So if we get to a colonized planet, we can go ahead and perform that sectors of interest. So if we can get to that hex right there, we can do that. And then hopefully earn some star points, which we need to win the game. So I'll stop there. That'll be part 1 of a playthrough of Star Drifter. We did a lot of flying through space. We went through an asteroid field. We ended up here finding a distress signal. We ended up investigating a crashed vessel, found a relic aboard, and some cash. No combat, but we're still drifting. And there's just so much more to explore from within the event book and the different opportunities that exist for star points and all the different dangers that still lurk. But if you'd like to see part 2, or you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. Anyhow, take care, thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.